If I can continue just for a few more moments. Similarly, there is a message for everyone at the time of nikah. There are so many groups of people amongst us today. Those who are married, we've already mentioned, watch your tongue. Learn to trust one another. Learn to respect one another. Your wife, your husband becomes first-class friend. The rest who used to be friends before marriage become second-class friends. If you are spending the same time with your friends that you used to spend before marriage, after marriage, then definitely there is going to be something wrong in your marriage. You need to sacrifice time for your own spouse and families. I tell those who go to work from 5 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening for 60 years of their life, or in fact up to the age of 60, what have you achieved? There must be a time when you've decided, look, I've earned enough, let me cut my hours from 9 to 3 and spend some time with my own family. How many of us are guilty that our children don't know us? Our own children who are waiting for our guidance do not know us because we've run behind the dunya and we are amassing wealth to the degree that not only will we be kept away from happiness, but our children will never even recognize who their father or mother was. So for this reason, we must learn to give one another this time, especially the family members. That is a message for those who are married. Those who are not married, if you are of marriage age, there is a message for you also today. That do something and take positive steps so that you can get married. May Allah make it easy for one and all. And may Allah grant who are not married spouses who will be the coolness of your eyes. Ameen. For those who are married, always make a dua that Allah grant you offspring who will be the coolness of your eyes. Similarly, there is a message for those who are the parents of either boys or girls of marriage age. The hadith says, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ عَرِيضٌ. Which means, if someone comes to you with a proposal, and this person happens to be of good akhlaq, character, and his deen is of an acceptable level, either on your level or slightly higher, if you do not accept it, then there will be great fitna and fasad and corruption on earth. Let me pinpoint below the belt a problem that is within this ummah today. We tend to reject proposals on monetary lines, because this person is not rich, or this person is poor, or this person is rich or poor. Number one. Number two, what village you come from in the Indian subcontinent is also a criteria that we are using today, which is totally and utterly un-Islamic. I have hit it, as I say, below the belt. If you feel that you are blue blood, then wallahi, you might just be entering the fire of Jahannam. May Allah save us. Remember, taqwa and God consciousness and akhlaq is what we should be looking at. Nothing else. Bilal ibn Rabah, radiyallahu anhu, at one stage they were fighting to give him the daughters, because they knew his status when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Ya Bilal, and he was an African man, Inni sami'tu khashkhashataka fil Jannah. I heard your footsteps in Jannah. What is it that you are doing? The people went crazy, subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us this. So that is a message for those who have children who are of marriage age. If you are going to refuse proposals that are coming in the direction of either your son or daughter for the wrong reasons, then you will be landing in the clutches of shaitan. May Allah save us. Similarly, there is another problem that we have inherited from the Indian subcontinent. Once again, hitting it far below the belt. May Allah save us. I am fortunate I don't wear a belt. We must understand that in Islam, the proposal is not only from the man's side. Some people feel that, the daughters must sit at home and hang on and wait for proposals. Who knows that you have daughters? Who has seen them? No one has seen them. If you in the masjid and you come across a decent fellow whom you see in the masjid and you know his akhlaq, and there is no harm in you going to the father of that particular boy or the eldest brother and saying, I have a daughter whom I'd like to get married to this son of yours or this brother of yours. There is no harm. In fact, it is an act of merit. Take a look at Khadija bint Khuwaylid radiyallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala anha. She was 40 years old. Where did she stand a chance to marry a handsome 25-year-old man who happened to be the most honest and most good-looking man that was in existence at the time? But she tried. She went up with this proposal of marriage, and what happened? We all know it was actually accepted, subhanallah. So this shows us the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is in one valley and we are in another valley. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us on this day to make a resolution to leave these trends that we have brought with us sometimes very wrongly from the Indian subcontinent, and that have nothing to do with Islam and the Muslims. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. The last point I'd like to mention today, a message for those who were married but lost their spouses either through divorce or through death. The hadith has encouraged you to get married again. It is not the end of the world, no matter how old you are. Male or female. And I see we are looking at a few people here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the understanding. Don't feel that your father is too old to get married now that your mother has passed away. It is your duty as children to go and talk to him and to make sure that you look to his needs. At times a person 70, 80, 90 years old also want to get married. And at times it is just so that they have someone to talk to. Someone whom they can get up in the morning and smile to. Subhanallah, and that's it. But we as youngsters, sometimes we overlook that. Then when we are 90, our children will also overlook us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not do that to us. Very important point. Similarly, if you have lost your spouse through divorce, that doesn't mean it's the end of it. You know, when it comes to matric exams, you fail one, what do? Do you give up and sit at home? You try again. You try again, you might pass. You try a second time, you try a third time, and so on. You will come right at some point or another, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us happiness. I see the levels of speech are so high. I hope I haven't said anything to offend the sisters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us acceptance on this day. These are the few words I decided to share. The biggest message today, inshallah, let us learn to control our tongues in our own houses. Because every time there is a nikah, it is a point of pondering for us. Why is this verse repeated in the masjid? Only utter that which is upright. To teach you, do you know why it is the sunnah to attend the nikah? Do you know what we should be achieving by attending this particular dawah today? Not just to go home and say the food was nice and this was alright and that was okay and that's it. Every time you attend the nikah in the masjid, and every time you attend the walima, you must remember there is a lesson for you. Close your eyes for a few minutes and think of the day you got married 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. Close your eyes and ask yourselves, I was so happy on that day. Am I still as happy as I was? If not, what went wrong? Let me learn. Let me try and solve it. Let me admit my error and make amends in my life. Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the opportunity to attend 10 or 20 nikahs in the year. If 10 or 20 times we can close our eyes and think of the day we said, yes, I have accepted her in my marriage, and how happy we were on that day. Were we only nice, we wanted to win someone's daughter, or we wanted to win someone's son, and now once we are married, so everything turns around. If that was the case, we are hypocrites. May Allah save us. We must try and be as good as we were the day we were married, and Allah is giving us a reminder, 10 to 20 to 30 times in some cases a year, to say, think the day you were married and how happy are you and what are you going to do about solving your problems. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabina Muhammad.